Hello everyone, we just want to let you know that this is a giveaway episode, so make sure to stay tuned to the very end for all of the details.
Morning, my love.
Morning.
Ooh. Time to start another day of the boat build.
Yay!
Alright, coffee.
Okay.
Okay. Good morning, Georgie girl. It is 7:30 in the morning now. This is what time we get up every single day, Monday through Sunday, 7 days a week, and got the coffee brewing right now. Gonna take some time to enjoy that, catch up on emails and what our friends are up to before heading to the tent. Coffee, my love.
Thank you so much, my love.
You're welcome. So, Scout's honor.
Okay, so I was a Boy Scout.
I was a Girl Scout.
So together, we're going to do a Scout's honor that this is as close and as accurate of a day in our life during this build as we possibly can do when a camera is shoved in your face first thing in the morning.
Exactly. We picked like a typical day because sometimes we have a little variation. Saturday mornings are breakfast in the office, but this is a Monday, and this is exactly how our day goes. Like the fact that I sleep under a sleeping bag every night that we bought to live in the Pacifica as we searched out a build site for the Catamaran.
Yeah, that is your bedding.
That is
your
my bedding.
That is your comforter. So yeah, this is not grandiose at all living.
Nope.
This is just how we're doing it.
Are you ready to start your day in bed? It's been on and off freezing rain since last night into this morning. And now that Matt is getting ready to go into the tent, I take about an hour and a half in the morning to get some editing done while my mind is still kind of fresh.
And the tent warms up.
And while Matt gets the tent warmed up in these winter conditions. So yeah, he's gonna head over there and I'm about to break out my computer.
All right. So off to the bathrooms where I keep all of my work clothes. I'm trying to keep that fiberglass dust out of the living space for our lung health and for the cat's lung health. So basically I have just a changing room in there. And the closet where I store all the chemicals is also where we store all of our work clothes. So there's our work tent. There's the boat over there where we live in. And that is our beautiful view every day. And there she is in the morning. Last night we had Billy and Sierra from Tula's End of Summer here, and they were kind enough to bring some beer. So normally we don't have alcohol just laying around, maybe. Toolbox forgot to lock up last night. Our beautiful insulated doors.
Life is always a little bit more comfortable when we're in our winter home with the Viking.
Sometimes when it's just going to be a sanding day or sanding time, you really don't need the heaters. Once you put that Tyvek on and you start moving around, but when we're going to do some laminating or fiberglass work, then we have to bring it up to right around that 65, 70 in that area. So that's what I'm going to do right now. Get the heaters on, get it starting to warm up. So in an hour, hour and a half when Jess comes, she's comfortable. Pretty exciting day for me today. It's new Tyvek's day. Doesn't have dust all on the inside of it yet. Typically I get about a little week out of one. I always try to start the morning with sanding because it's probably the least pleasant thing to actually do. Currently, this is our tool storage. Usually they go in that big lockbox overnight, but right now it's just a matter of convenience having them there. Sanding setup. So a lot of our paper in here. And off to do battle. Just go through, rough it up, another styrene wipe on both areas, and then I can apply glass. So one of the good things with working with polyester and vinyl ester resin is you can still get that chemical bond if you don't use a wax in it for quite some time. Reason why I still had to go through and sand that, which that's what gunks up the sandpaper so bad, is because the surface wasn't perfectly flat. So it's more of an application thing in this scenario versus actually necessary to get that chemical bond in that. So you can kind of see the temperatures I'm dealing with right now. Inside, it's right around 45 on the substrate. So where I need to work down in this lower area, even with the heater running, it's still in the mid 40s. So it's gonna be a while before I'm actually able to do anything with those areas.
Hey, Georgie girl, I'll see you in a few hours. Time to switch out jobs for a few hours. I'm gonna head into the tent to get to work there and see what Matt has been up to so far this morning.
But in the meantime, what I'm gonna do is each one of these surfaces around here needs to have, on the edges, needs to have fairing compound pushed in to fill in where the foam would be, so where I decore. The good thing is the fairing compound has been in our heated cooler thing, so this is actually at the proper temperature. I'm just going through. You can see the rough surface here. So that rough surface is where I need to just get another coat on there. On this side and this side, these edges will have a wood insert in there that will be exposed, so you'll actually see that. That's a non-issue. It's just these areas that need to get hit.
Kelly boy! So you probably remember Tucker from our videos, Yard Manager. His boat is right next to ours at the end of the covered dock, and on his days off he usually likes to let his cats come outside and play. He's such a small little kitten, and look how big he's gotten now. Hi, Lily.
I look the other way. I don't see how it's got anything to do with me. Hurry, I need my any expense, it doesn't make sense, but every cell in my body.
So I just come in here every day, store my clothes in the closet, and try and keep the dust on our liveaboard boat to a minimum.
It's incredibly easy to sand back and lose that straight edge that you took all the time in the world to make. Once you hit it with a little piece of sandpaper on, all of a sudden you start getting this wave at it. It's a struggle that we've been having, and these are going to be exposed. These are something that you're going to see when you walk in here, and once we have the cabinet doors next to them, it's going to be very obvious if they're not straight. So we're taking great pains now to go back and make sure that we get these things completely flat. So that was kind of the characteristic there, is to be less aggressive, more or multiple fills versus one big fill where it's overflowing. We have to come back and get real aggressive with it.
I'm here, ready to start my work day.
Jess is now joining us. Hey,
We're trying to film
turn that off.
Stop it.
Yeah. Okay, dueling.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yours. Okay.
All right, Jess just joined us. The temperature in here is in the low 50s. At least it is now starting to finally get up to good Jessica temperature.
Exactly. I'm still putting my Timex on though.
So we do kind of like a daily briefing, going over what I have done in the morning, go over what kind of our objective is for the day, our checklist of things that we want to actually accomplish today.
And then I see if he needs assistance on anything, and if not, then I just go about my own business.
I've got the areas prepped down below to blast that.
Briefing is done, and Matt has gone over all of his morning work with me. He doesn't need me for anything else. So on a kind of colder day like today, where I can't really work in the midsection while heating it, I'm going to turn my attention back to our forward berth here. Haven't really touched it since I primed these cabinets here, but this wall is still bare, so I'm going to go ahead, bring a heater in, start to heat the area up. Hit it with some 40 grit sandpaper just to scuff it and get off any remaining resin. And then I'm gonna start throwing some fairing compound because, again, like, we just wanna do this big push of priming, hopefully coming up soon.
Look at me, I am somebody.
So temperature now is up to around that 65 in both these areas. So perfect for bonding. Just gonna cut the glass and the peel ply that go over the top of it. And then I can start that and hopefully get these things laminated before lunch. And so by the time I get back, then I should be able to start fairing them.
My conclusion is that it's all a lie.
Okay. So as I was sanding the outboard side of the wall here, I realized, I should say I forgot, that there was a space that had accidentally been sanded into before that needs to get covered with fiberglass to kind of reinforce it before I can go through. So Matt was glassing over there, thankfully, just handed him a new piece of fiberglass. It's going over it. So I guess we'll let that cure as we go to lunch. But at least I can work on this side regardless when I get back. And who knows, maybe give the cabinets a quick sand so that tomorrow I can get another coat of primer on them. This window here is just bright. I'm not sad to get into sweats again for a few minutes and relax and have some food. Hey, Georgie girl. Did you get some good napping done while we were gone? Got my lunch with just a cup of yogurt with some granola in here. Probably have some crackers after this, but since Matt eats his lunches underwear because he's all covered in gross stuff, we're just gonna skip filming that part. Cured enough, but not enough to sand and fair. So I think what I'm going to have to do is just leave that specific spot for tomorrow, let the resin cure overnight where I can go back and sand it. So I can do all of the bottom section, and I can do from basically that patch and aft. That's what I'll plan to do now. So everything is sanded. I'm going to give it a little wipe down with styrene, and then I can start spreading on some fairing compound.
All right. It is cured. For today, I'm just gonna knock off the edges, kind of level it out a little bit, sanding it, and then apply a quick coat of fairing compound just to even it out a little bit and get it prepped for Jess to come through here then and do her magic and get it perfect. And then I do have some other things that need to get filled. That is eventually going to be the base where our sliding doors in the forward cabin, the edge is going to be exposed on either side. They're going to sit horizontally. And so I'm just going to go through and fill them with a very, very light thin fill just to give them a nice edge. So when I glass over it, it should look very, very nice and I don't worry about it popping off.
What we learned from Colby is to get the kind of like the main flat part going first, let that get a little bit flat or tacky, and then match it with like the top and bottom, bringing it into that. So the 3M primer starts to cure within like 4 minutes. It actually makes it tough to work with sometimes. Total boat takes longer, which is really great in the summer, but in winter months like this, I need to give it a few minutes, so I'm trying to crank the heat up as much as possible. Just finishing up my second coat of fairing compound going on, and because I do have it so toasty in here, it's doing a great job of letting it set so that I can kind of cover the other areas and then not have it just wipe away what I've already done. So yeah, just about done with that, and then it's nearing 6 o'clock at night, so I am going to go back to the boat, get a little bit of editing done and start dinner. But yeah, day in the life, Matt will be here later. I'm just about ready to cut out. Walking into this space every night. How was your day, kitty? Did you have a good nap in your bed? The winds are coming almost directly out of the west today, which our marina has a channel like leading from there, so it's really not that bad, but it does get kind of rocky in here. But now it's time to make dinner, so it should be fine. I think it's like west-northwest, but winds are definitely strong today. So this is the point of day too where also I start to get super tired and my brain kind of stops functioning, which is why I've now switched editing to morning instead of night, because I used to come back at this time, try to edit, and my brain would just be fog. You ready for some food, Georgie? My ginger won't grate.
So, time to cut out. Just about 7:30. Have to go shower and clean up, but do a quick little recap of what I've done today, what our projects have been. Getting these things cut and filled, which eventually will again be the track set up for our pantry area. Down here, bonded, glassed, and first coat of fairing on these areas up here, and in the back, you can't really see it, but right along this edge, bonded, and you can see a little popsicle stick holding it in place, but bonded in a section there. It's kind of a filler. When we go to finish off that area, we need to have that all the way to that aft wall, that aft bulkhead. And so that's, again, just going to be a filler piece in there. So I need to glass that just to make sure it doesn't crack again. Went through, did a first layer on a bunch of these edges. You can see that, the Matt Johnson style of fairing, which is glob it on and then send it back off. So that's basically what I've done today. This is, well, started at 9, it's now about 7:30, to a little bit for lunch. So yeah, that's basically, what is that, 10 hours. That is basically my day, and that's what I have to show for it. Filled in some other edges and some other areas, but it's amazing how slow the build process actually is. There's so many little details to do, and each one of them, logically I look at it and go, oh, you know, that's a simple little cut. That's going to take me, what can I do? That's going to take me a few minutes to do. And all of a sudden it's an hour and a half later and I'm still working on it. It's amazing how the minutes and hours get lost when doing this type of project. Again, time to now go shower, go back to the Viking. I told Jess I'd be there at 7:30. Probably not going to be, so we'll be a few minutes late to dinner. And eat real quick, and then it's the rest of the night.
Don't mean to turn it upside down. I really wanna be around. I can't know how you do to be where you so calmly sit when I'm further my own there.
Looks and smells pretty good to me. Cannot wait to dig in.
Part of it,
Thank you.
to just be,
Okay, your dinner in a minute, cat.
to
Oh,
really
good.
see something other than just me. To leave me
After we finish with dinner, I grab my computer once more, and either I sit out there or I get cuddled up in my blankets and do another hour and a half to 2 hours of editing. And I know people are going to say something. Yes, I'm actually so much more comfortable just like lounging with this pillow in my lap than sitting at any kind of like desk or table. I've tried editing at the dinette before. I just get really uncomfortable there. So another reason why I am not worried that we got rid of the nav station on the Catamaran.
hit the brakes, throw stones into quiet.
Well, the fun doesn't end as soon as we leave the tent. We still get to do some more things for the rest of the night. Jess typically edits every single night. I, on the other hand, do something that I actually enjoy, so it's not really total work for me, but it's researching what's going to be in the new boat, just going through all the little details that we need for the next day or the next week or month, whatever it is. The planning for the build does take a ton of time, going through and just trying to figure out all these little details, every single product, every single thing that we're putting on the boat, figuring out what's going to be the best solution for us. Right now, going through the electrical diagram and trying to figure out exactly how that stuff's going to be laid out. That's how I spend my night, playing around on that, waiting for Jess to be done, and then we can go to bed and start over again, start the process over. Just about time for bed, and I have one last project or one last thing to do with the build, and that is going to turn off the heaters for the night. So one last trip out. It's like Groundhog Day. Back in the tent. Go be all set to sand tomorrow. So the thing is trying not to get covered in dust. Inevitably, I end up brushing up against something and get dust on me. Oh, that is it for the night in here.
is now just after 10:30 and I've finished my editing for the night. Sometimes I'll stay up just a little bit longer and watch TV, but I am just wiped out from sanding, especially those overhead things, so I'm going to call it a night. But we hope you enjoyed our day in the life, kind of a behind the scenes to what we're doing when we're not in the tent, and basically what our lives look like 7 days a week. So hope you enjoyed it, and we'll see you next week. We are back to working with some of our favorite people over at Code Zero Sportswear. If you could tell, I got one of their shirts on right now. But we are doing a giveaway this week for one of their backpacks, which is really nice. It's got like a front zipper and great back support, computer holder inside. And so all you have to do to enter is leave a comment below. It doesn't have to be about the bag. It can be about anything you'd like. And 1 week from today, we're going to draw a winner and let you know within the comments, and we'll get this shipped to you. So just leave a comment, and hopefully you'll be going home with your very own bag.
Give me your freedom. Whoa, yeah, to pieces. Yeah, I need it. Want your pandemonium. Life is so easy. Whoa, you love me to pieces. Yeah, I need it. Want your pandemonium.